Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah. Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto under 20. In fact, today my keto is under 10. My carbs for the day are 7.9, and I love it like that. And I am having my big bowl of lettuces today. Last night I tried an experiment and I did not have them. I had leftover keto pizza with asparagus, which I think I will keep the asparagus leftover pizza thing like that is. But today I am back to it. I am having a small piece of filet mignon, already cooked, and I'm having 60 grams of sauteed mushrooms with that. My big salad, my 4 tablespoons of oil. I know, don't cringe, Mike. And my 2 coffees with butter in them. I have changed up my bulletproof coffee routine. I have 2 coffees with butter in them and 20 grams of heavy whipping cream and 1 tablespoon of the butter or the ghee, and it just works for me. And that's what we're going with today. Things change. You know how things always change, right? So these are my macros for the day. My calories are 1,251. My protein is 46.2, carbs 7.9, and my fats are 100.8. And if you're new to keto and all of this is like totally confusing, welcome. It is a totally confusing startup. And, some people don't even know what macros are. Some people don't know what keto really means. They might find a station or two that seems to meet their desires. I think there's easing into it keto. I think there's easing out of keto sort of food plans. But I am kind of the one that's known as the strict and disciplined and consistent one. I keep my calories usually, well, they're always under like 1,500. And like today, as you saw, they're 1,251. I feel like I'm having plenty of fats between my butter in my coffee and my oil on my salad. And filet doesn't have too much fat. So, but it just all works for me. I am OMAD. And what does OMAD mean? OMAD means 1 meal a day. And I'm 67. I weighed this amount the last time in the 3rd grade, and I don't know if you can tell by looking at me. Go ahead, have a good look. But the 3rd grade was a long time ago. 59 years ago, to be exact. So that's what I've been doing the last 6 decades. I put on a whole bunch of weight from eating the standard American diet, and by the time I was in the 4th and 5th grades, I was at the highest weight that I ever was at, non-pregnant, and kind of hovered around that. I was a stocky field hockey, solid kind of chunk-a-monkey. I didn't jiggle. The jiggle didn't come till later. And now I sure have it with all the loose skin that happens when you lose the weight. I'd love to have Dr. Now take a hack at me. So anyway, over the years, I've tried many different ways of losing it, tightening up, giving up things. I tried the drinking diet. Maybe you've heard of that. It's when you have a lot to drink and then you have a steak. Yeah. That's a 0 carb diet, right? If it's a liquor, not a liqueur, that's loaded with sugar. But I've done that. I've done Weight Watchers. I've done my own version. I've done, I remember I used to have 2 boxes of frozen broccoli with like a teaspoon of margarine on it, hideous, and called that a meal. Oh God, the things I used to eat. There wasn't a lot of food in my house growing up. Some of you heard this story. Some of you also can identify with this story. I began babysitting at 9, and when they said, help yourself to anything anything to eat, they didn't realize that, like, I was going to do that. Thank you very much. So I began to be a scavenger. My house was very alcohol. I was an only child. My house was very alcoholic, so there wasn't a lot of food. And so I think in the fourth, fifth, and sixth grades, I went to summer camp, and there, the food was abundant, standard American diet fare, of course. And so I put on hefty amounts of weight. And then when the summer was over and I returned back home to my babysitting jobs, then I fed myself that way. And sad but true. I took home ec. I got special permission at the high school to take home ec twice because I just loved cooking so much. I should have become a chef, but I didn't. And so I learned how to cook at in my teens, and loved to do that, but really didn't do that until, I don't know, the past few years. I've really gotten into enjoying foods. That has a lot to do with keto, I'm sure. And so then let me see what worked. Well, about 5 years ago, I went to Weight Watchers and practiced that for 18 months. And for me, that was just permission to eat like 6 to 8 pieces of fruit, tons of veggies, and little packets or containers or portions of standard American grains throughout the day. And that's how I did it. And I lost, I think, 18 pounds that way. And then did that for like the 18 months. And then I did low carb, high fat, which is basically what I do now. I didn't have as much fat as I do now. I don't think my macros weren't as balanced as they are now for keto, under 10. Yeah, I ate tons of veggies, which was still a better bad choice than what I was doing before on Weight Watchers. And so I would have these starches like the sweet potatoes and white potatoes. And I gave up sugars and grains thanks to Dr. Davis. That made sense to me. Then I began to listen to Dr. Berg before he changed. He's a little different today, a little bit more supplemental and commercial than when I first began to listen to him. And he's got like 5,000 videos, so we're talking 4,500 videos ago. When he talked about healing the body with eating wholesome foods before trying to lose the weight. So I still had a little bit of weight that I wanted to lose, another 18 to 20 pounds. And so I began to focus on things like the organic lettuces, grass-fed beef, definitely more conscious thinking about whole foods, and maybe even the organic berries not even in season, just the organic berries. And so that made sense to me. And then I began to listen to people like Abel James, who was a lot keto. Some portion was a little paleo, which just means a little bit more sugar allowed, I think, and honey, things like that. But then he got to keto-fied, the desserts, the breads, the dishes, and it just wasn't making sense to me. It wasn't clean enough for me. I kind of like the clean food that I have today, which is if I held it up and said, "What's this?" you go, "It's a mushroom." If I held this up and you looked at it, you'd say, "It's grass-fed beef," that sort of thing. I do make, I have a few different soup/stews that I make. The reason I call it a stew is it thickens with the cauliflower crumbles. One's with ground beef, the other one is with shredded chuck roast, and the other one is with boneless chicken thighs. And they're all kind of the same thing. It's just the different spices make the three of them taste different. I usually have like that on a Monday. On a Tuesday is like the leftover keto pizza. And Wednesday is usually a taco salad, or my version, which doesn't look, you wouldn't even know it was a taco salad, really. It's grass-fed beef sitting on a bed of organic, crunchy lettuces with 4 tablespoons of Daisy sour cream and the medallion of the Sabra guacamole. And that's my version. I've tried every salsa known and I like the sugary ones, so those went. And I season the beef, a la um, taco beefy, and that's my version. Friday we have a Pete and Jerry jumbo egg omelet um, with cream cheese, another type of cheese, and chopped up asparagus in it with bacon on the side with my salad. And then on Saturday, it's the incredible keto pizza, and Sunday is the big green egg. And that is my rotation. Sometimes there's a rotation in the middle of the week with a pork chop or pork ribs, baby back ribs. But that's it. Once in a blue moon, there's like grilled swordfish. But I am a creature of habit, and each one of those meals I look totally forward to. Sometimes I have a um, big kind of Cobb salad as well. So yeah, it varies, but those are my those are my rotations, and all of my food is pretty much identifiable. I I I recently watched a Keto Find Keto Connect video where they had like 30 different foods, drinks, and things like that, and it was just like I just like was, am I? That's not me. No, no, and they did the taste tests and stuff like that. It was very, very interesting. It was probably $200 worth of food, and I commented, um, under the video, and I said, "Thanks for buying these things that I would buy and then not like and then throw out." I did see a turmeric tea that looked thick and delicious on Dr. Oz with Kelly, the bone broth lady, and I think I'm going to look up that recipe and maybe make it. I've got a hankering for some bone broth with whipped up in the NutriBullet with some spices and like the turmeric and some butter or ghee, and that pleases me too. I do like ghee, and so when I have my buttered coffee in the morning, I have Kerrygold, and then when I have my second cup of coffee, I have the Organic Valley organic ghee. And so maybe later in the day, I will have my turmeric tea or my chicken broth with some more ghee in it, just to add to it. But I do like my food plans. They keep me satiated, and so my big green leafy salads may be reduced now to 3 days a week, and that works for me. I keep it very, very low. I don't put anything else in it except the lettuces, the oils that I have, which is macadamia nut oil and extra virgin olive oil that's organic. Those oils shuttle the nutrients into my body so they get absorbed. And I like that. I would hesitate and suggest that you don't buy commercially bottled dressings. The only one that I've seen that really is keto friendly is Primal, and it's like $9 a bottle. That wouldn't last long. And I just like my oils. I'm not a vinegar person, so apple cider vinegar drinks don't appeal to me. It kind of like chokes me right here. I don't eat condiments, so I never had to worry about the ketchup and the mayonnaise made with soybean oil or canola oil, which are two no-nos. And I stay away from the seed oils, which are canola, sunflower, safflower, vegetable, corn oil, just to name a quick 5. The oils I do have, coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil, macadamia nut oil, and yeah, I'm happy with those. And then Organic Valley, yeah, Organic Valley ghee and Kerrygold butter are pretty much the staples for the butter family. Fortunately, I'm not allergic to dairy. I do have it in the minimal amounts, and so it seems to work out okay for me. Ghee, if dairy bothers you, then ghee is lactose-free butter, and you can buy it. It's like shelf stable. Once I open it, I do put it in the fridge though. It's shelf stable, and when I go to Stop and Shop or online, GHEE, and it's in the whole food area, the natural food, the organic food section of like Stop and Shop, near the butters, the nut butters, and then their versions of the oils and salad dressings and things like that. So it's rather pricey, but I'm having a tablespoon a day. So lasts a long time. All of the keto items that I use are rather pricey in buying them, but then they last a good long time. So when I go shopping, and I've switched up my shopping, as some of you heard my dilemma from the traffic getting to Market Basket, I will do my beef shopping for the filet and the ribeye that we cook on the Big Green Egg. I'll buy those fresh on Sunday morning. And then Monday morning, I'll go to Market Basket and get all my lettuces, the dairy products, and any other grocery items that I get from their cat food and water and all that good stuff, the San Pellegrino. I drink San Pellegrino water. I also drink Mountain Valley water that comes from, I think, the Ozarks. The San Pellegrino is Italian. Both of them have minerals in them. That's why I choose them. I love bubbles. And as far as salts go, I use Celtic salt crystals that I put on my tongue. I recently got the Redmond's Ancient Salt from Utah. And that's got a totally different salt taste, and I love it. That I do have pink Himalayan. Somebody said they dye it to look pink, but I would imagine that FDA would require them to put the red dye on it if it comes from the United States. Maybe they don't have to do it if it comes from overseas. I don't know. But I got the Redmonds, I got the Celtic salt. Those things work for me as well. And I use a lot of salt. I put it in my coffee. I put it in my lemon water that I drink warmed up in the morning. I use diatomaceous earth, and it's a powder. I put that in my coffee, and I will also put that in my turmeric tea when I get that recipe. And it helps with a whole bunch of different things. I would Google it or watch YouTube videos on it. Same thing with the MSM. I get that from bulk supplement as well as the diatomaceous earth, all from Amazon. I get my potassium powder from Amazon. I get my magnesium powder from Amazon and in bulk supplement brand. And so there's no fillers. There's just what it says on it. And so when I buy those, they're like, $12 to $16 for the bag. But again, I'm having them, a half a teaspoon, 1 tablespoon, things like that. So they last a long, long time once I purchase them. As far as sweeteners go, I do like my coffee with a little bit of sweet in it. So I use Zyla in my morning coffee, and I use Pure, Pyure, organic stevia or erythritol, or the combo of both, in my second cup of coffee. So life is but a dream for me. I am living the dream. I love my foods. I love my rotations. As you can tell, it is very, very simple. My lettuces are dark green, leafy, organic. Watercress, baby spinach, baby kale, spring mix, arugula, and I think maybe that's it. Maybe there's another, but that's it. And then I put my oils on that in my big salad bowl. So I keep it simple. I'm carnivore at heart with a salad. I know, I'm trying. And so I do like my fats. I like my butters. I do like my oils on my salad. I don't go cray-cray, but if I'm having my big salad 3 to 4 times a week, that's good. Oh, and my my organic red leaf lettuce too. I like that too. So that's how I'm rolling. And that's my keto plan. I am strict, I'm disciplined, I track, I weigh, and I measure. So that's all you need to know about me. And I just keep doing videos every day about that, because I think we need constant reminders or pullbacks. Come back, come back. Stop keto-fying. Stop thinking starches look good. Stop thinking the standard American diet's okay. You can't do both. You can't have 1 foot in keto and 1 foot in the standard American diet, or you'll be watching the scale go, woo! Thanks so much for watching. This has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto. Under 20 carbs is my cap, but as you can see, I'm under 10 today. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye for now.